right, there's some belief around the NBA that the Detroit Pistons could be a dark horse for Trey Young. Trey's openly said he wanted to stay in Atlanta. Urban city. A lot of amenities in Atlanta. I mean, either you like it or you love it. It's usually really no in between. Is it vastly different from Detroit? Absolutely. When I go to Atlanta, I want to eat, maybe do a tad bit of shopping, and then that's pretty much it. You had to ask me, would you rather live in Detroit or Atlanta? Detroit. You know what I'm saying? That's just my preference. I have my reasons why. It's cool to go visit Atlanta, but to live down there, nah. Even with money, I wouldn't do it. You know, the weather is cool and just a lot of things going on down there. I used to be down there. I used to go to school not too far. And my brother used to live down there, so I'm very familiar. But, for him, that means they would choose to keep DeJounte Murray. And unfortunately for Trey Young, he's getting a reputation of not being able to get it done in Atlanta, while Luka is getting it done in Dallas. It ain't nothing he can do about it. I mean, that's just the cards, that he been dealt. But in my opinion, I just think he got to defending at a higher level is more likely. Now, ideally, and I've talked about this before, but time changes. Different opinion, whatever, but ideally, you want him to play next to a Cade Cunningham. That's what you want. Ideally, you want him to play next to a Cade Cunningham, a bigger guard. But the problem is, who's going to take the responsibility of defending? And I think that's a team effort. You can't have one guard that defend and one guard don't. And I think that's kind of what make Isaiah and Dumars a little bit better than Steph and Clay, because they both can defend. So, ideally, they both have to take the challenge of defending. And then you say, well, what's going to be different between Ivy and Cade Cunningham? Ivy and Cade, and Ivy and Trae. Yeah, Trae can shoot. Or Trae and DeJounte and Trae and Cade. Both aspects of it. What's going to be different about the dynamics? They both was just previously in ball dominant situations. The only difference is, and I think, shout out to a lot of the subs out there, some of the Piston fans out, they caught on it sooner. Why is Jay and Ivy being so submissive to Cade Cunningham? I understand being submissive to Trey Young or being submissive to DeJounte Murray. They both great players in their own right, right? They own right, they good players. So when he come to Detroit, what's going to be the difference? They both are best with the ball in their hands. So if you can't figure out how to make two balls of clay and Cade and Ivy, who young and who ain't been, scoring by the league too much or scoring by success at all, how you gonna make these dudes work? Trey's been an Allstar. He's been to the Eastern Conference Finals. So that's the $1 million question. How is the dynamic Monty going to make this work? Two ball dominant guards. How do they make this work? That's the problem. There's too many guys in the league that can't play without the basketball. Oh, Trey can come off screens and Trey. Then defensively, how do you make it work? They both have to defend at a high level. Unfortunately, that's just what it has to be. So, if they offensively can make it work, and when you can't have any defensive liabilities. If he's not going to come here and defend, then absolutely not. His shooting is great. People come see him in Detroit, absolutely. He gets some assists here and there. But what can he provide outside of that? The next step is making people better, being a better defensive player, being a better, teammate. Guys said he was ball dominant too. So you run into the same problems you got in Atlanta. You run the same problems you got in Detroit. You know, they don't want to put too much on Cade Cunningham defensively. I mean, you got two fucking defensive liabilities in the backcourt at this point. In my opinion, if you trade for a Trey Young, somebody like that, what you telling me is, I need to give up Cade Cunningham and start over with a primary ball handler. Don't tell me what I'm going to do is, I'm going to trade Trey Young for Trey Young, make it work with Cade Cunningham. You couldn't make it work with Jaden Ivey. Shooting is a small aspect. You know? Shooting is a small aspect of it. You know, but maybe it could work. You know, I just think some things need to be fixed. You know, they need to be understood. This is what we're going to run next season. To me, like I told y'all, the ball is in one guy's hand too much. And when that guy, Cade Cunningham, is in, you know, the ball is in his hand so much. Right? When the ball is in his hand so much. Right? So much. That ain't nobody getting better. That's a problem. Don't say like, oh, it got to be the other 12 or 13 guys on the team. I think not. I think not. And that's just my opinion. So, could it work? Absolutely. They have to take the defensive challenge, and then offensively, they have to find common ground for offensive work. But that has to happen anyway. That has to happen anyway. Offensively, some things need to be different. Casey thing was, oh, we gonna just go one, you know, we gonna shoot threes. We gonna space the floor and shoot a bunch of threes. And I hate to say it, his philosophy was better than Monty's. Monty's philosophy is, Cade Cunningham, just pound the ball into the floor, do what you want to do, and I'm gonna sit here and just watch you do what you do. It ain't like he said, hey, Chris Paul, here go the rock. Go out there and do your thing, because Chris Paul gonna make sure everybody get theirs before he think about getting his. You know, this giving me like Michael Jordan vibes when they had to bring in Pippen. When they had to bring in Pippen for, you know, so Mike can trust his teammates and take the ball out of Mike's hands. That's what the vibes is giving me. He don't trust those guys, and if that's the case, it's the guys. And he brings somebody else in, and K get a ball up and let somebody else run the offense. Then hey, that's what it is. I can't really say what it is, but I will say this. There's a bunch of submission. There's a bunch of submission coming from Jaden Ivey when it comes to Cade Cunningham, and I really didn't want to like say nothing to the point where we like excuse me. I didn't want to say nothing to the point where we was like, you know, I didn't want them to divide them, but I got to agree with that. There's a bunch of submission coming from Cade Cunningham, from Jaden Ivey, where I think he needs to be the alpha a little bit and be like, here, man, fuck this. I'm bringing the ball up. I seen games where he just sit there and watch Cade pound the ball into the floor. He going to Pound Town, no diddy. You know, but hey, that's just me, man. But that's a video in itself. I'm going to speak on that. I just talked myself into a video. So check out Detroit Pistons Talk playlist. Hit the link tree. Find me on Instagram, Spotify, Anchor, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, the whole nine. Well, not Google. But hey, Cash App, Venmo, everything in the link tree. Follow your boy. Peace.